I'm Dr. Hiro, a functional medicine specialist, and I need to give you an urgent warning about your breakfast. You see, what you eat first thing in the morning can either set you up for a day of energy and vitality, or it can actually speed up how fast you age. So let's find out which path you're on.
It's a pretty shocking thought, isn't it? The idea that the breakfast you're choosing because you think it's healthy might be doing the exact opposite, making you older, faster. After you've been fasting all night, your body is basically like a sponge. Whatever you give it first is going to be absorbed incredibly efficiently, setting the tone for your entire day.
So, why does this happen? Well, it really comes down to two key medical concepts. Think of them as twin threats that can turn a seemingly harmless meal into a biological problem, aging you from the inside out.
Okay, first up, we have the blood sugar spike. When you eat refined carbs or sugar on an empty stomach, your blood glucose just shoots through the roof. Your body then has to scramble, pumping out insulin to deal with that sugar rush. This daily roller coaster of high glucose and high insulin is a huge driver of chronic inflammation, and it throws your hormones out of whack, both of which are hallmarks of aging.
Now that first problem leads directly to our second one, something called advanced glycation endproducts, or AGS for short. I like to call this cellular scorching. It's almost like what it sounds like. When you have too much sugar floating around in your blood, it literally starts to caramelize the proteins and fats in your body. This creates these harmful AGS that make your tissue stiff. That's what causes wrinkles, hardens arteries, and damages your organs.
So, keeping those two big threats in mind, blood sugar spikes and cellular scorching, let's count down the top 5 worst breakfasts that are secretly accelerating your aging process. And you know what? Some of these might really surprise you. Kicking off our list at number 5 is a food that wears a serious health halo. That's right, commercial granola. It's so often marketed as this perfect, wholesome start to the day, but the reality? It's often quite different. Let's just look at the medical facts here. Most of the granola you buy at the store is loaded with added sugars. We're talking glucose, high-fructose corn syrup, all kinds of things that spike your blood sugar immediately. Then on top of that, they're usually made with really cheap vegetable oils like sunflower or safflower oil, which are packed with pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. That combination of sugar and bad fats creates the perfect storm for inflammation and gut problems.
Coming in at number 4 is a breakfast staple for millions of people: fruit juice in those super sugary smoothies. It just seems so natural and healthy, doesn't it? But from a cellular point of view, it can be a total disaster.
You see, when you juice a fruit, you strip away all the fiber that's meant to slow down how you absorb the sugar. What you're left with is a concentrated shot of fructose that just slams into your liver, overwhelms your mitochondria, and spikes your insulin. Eating a whole piece of fruit is healthy. Drinking it is a totally different ballgame. At number 3, we've got a classic convenience breakfast: pastries, croissants, or even just some simple white toast slathered with margarine. This combination is a multi-pronged attack on your cells. The refined white flour is bad enough, for sure, but the real villain here is often what you're spreading on it. Margarine is just full of trans fats that directly inflame the membranes of your cells. On the flip side, you have healthy fats like omega-3s that do the exact opposite. They actually support cellular repair. So it's a choice between fueling the fire of inflammation or fighting it. Our runner-up for the worst aging breakfast is another imposter from the health food aisle: flavored and sweetened yogurt. It promises you great gut health, but what it often delivers is a dose of sugar that's comparable to a candy bar. The problem here is really simple. It's the sugar. The massive amount of added sugar in these products completely cancels out any potential benefit you'd get from the probiotics. That sugar feeds the bad bacteria in your gut, it fuels inflammation, and it contributes directly to forming those aging AGEs we talked about earlier. And for a lot of people, the dairy protein itself, casein, can also be inflammatory. This isn't health food, it's dessert for breakfast.
And now, for the number 1 absolute worst breakfast for accelerating cellular aging, it's that convenient, grab-and-go option that you can get from pretty much any fast food chain: the processed breakfast sandwich.
This meal is basically a masterclass in how to damage your cells. Studies have shown that this exact combination of refined carbs, processed meat, and unhealthy fats triggers an immediate and powerful inflammatory response in your body. It actually activates key inflammatory pathways. This isn't gradual aging. This is like flipping a switch that just floods your entire system with inflammation, which then leads to insulin resistance and a leaky gut. So you've seen the culprits, but what could sugary yogurt and a greasy sandwich possibly have in common? Let's connect the dots and really see how this all leads to the same destructive outcome for your body. It all starts in your gut.
These foods cause inflammation right in your intestinal lining, and this constant irritation can lead to a condition called leaky gut. Basically, the tight junctions that hold your intestinal cells together start to loosen, which allows undigested food particles and bacterial toxins to leak right into your bloodstream. Your immune system sees these as foreign invaders and launches a massive, body-wide inflammatory attack. And that right there is the root cause of so many chronic diseases and accelerated aging.
This slide just summarizes it perfectly. Sugar and refined carbs, they lead directly to glycation, and that oxidative stress, this cellular scorching. Those unhealthy fats like trans fats and too much omega-6, they inflame your actual cell membranes. And ultra-processed foods in general just disrupt your gut microbiome, which leads to that critical leaky gut. Each one of these culprits has a very specific destructive job to do.
Now, I know this can all sound pretty alarming, but the goal here is not to create fear. It's to empower you with knowledge, because understanding the problem is the absolute first step to fixing it. So let's talk about the solution. Building an anti-aging breakfast is all about following a few key principles. You want to build your meal around protein and healthy fats. Then add in lots of fiber from vegetables and low-sugar fruits like berries. This combination keeps your blood sugar stable, it provides the building blocks for cellular repair, it fights inflammation, and it nourishes a healthy gut.
And this is why it's so critical. This quote really gets to the heart of the matter. You see, excessive sugar intake directly messes with a key pathway called PGC1-alpha, which is responsible for creating new healthy mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells. So when your mitochondria are dysfunctional, it triggers insulin resistance and a whole cascade of metabolic problems. Your breakfast choices have a direct impact on the energy engines of your cells.
This is the most important part of this entire explainer, because information is pretty much useless without action. So I want you to really think about this. What change will you make for your very next breakfast?
Ultimately, the choice is yours every single morning. Your breakfast can be an accelerator for aging, putting your foot on the gas, or it can be your most powerful tool to protect your cells, putting on the brake. The power is in your hands.